Hello, my name is Andreas, and welcome to my channel. Uh, I haven't really introduced myself before. I don't know. I don't feel shy, but I think people talk so much and know everything about things instead of approaching this language, which music is in my world, uh, from a more, from a maybe a little bit different approach. To me, I music tells something. It's not about scales, arpeggios, even though you need all that, but you have to stop thinking about it and hearing the ideas, like for instance, that's a 2/5 in minor, obviously. E minor 7, flat 5, A 7 or A dominant to D minor. But and yeah, of course you need theory to convey the idea or to put the idea across to the listener if you need to explain what you're doing. And for a pedagogical reason, obviously, it's necessary. But it's, for me, I got stuck in theory. And it took, but I'm self-taught. So I started playing guitar when I was 11, 10 even. I stole my brother's nylon acoustic guitar and started fiddling around. And then when I was 12, I got my first electric guitar, and then it was hard rock. Like a lot of people in my age and even younger, starting with the blues and the pentatonics and power chords. But then when I was, I think, around 12, 13, we started listening to music, more progressive rock, and Chicory, Return to Forever, and that blew my mind. I was totally, but I didn't understand anything. So, and we formed a band and blah, blah, blah. We just played imitating. And for me, the most important thing was improvising. Just trying to be free in whatever harmonic concept we were in. Or I created a harmonic concept or a piece of song, and then I just improvised, and the rest of the guys were like just accompanying me. And then when I was 24, 23, maybe, I went to this neighbor, my best friend, one of my best friends. His stepfather was playing guitar, so he taught me how to write music, how the tempo and the notes on the bars. And that was so far away from music for me. So it was like learning Greek or something, totally another planet. I couldn't even connect. It was like one part of me musically was Jupiter, and this theory was like something that I couldn't connect, even though I quickly learned how it worked, because that's pretty simple. I mean, but only in theory. I couldn't connect the dots. I couldn't read. I started being able to write music after a year or something, because I realized I worked. But still, it was a different world for me. Maybe it was I was like compartmentalized, because I think music saved me from a lot of things. However, I'm trying to introduce myself, trying to say where I'm coming from. When I was young, really young, I was exposed to a lot of classical music, Bela Bartok, Stravinsky, a lot of Italian opera. My father loved that kind of music. I do too, actually. I still listen to some of the old great composers. And I like what kinds of music. I can listen to like the heaviest hard rock to choir music, or I'm not, as long as my heart connects to it. Well, this was a long introduction. I don't know if this was necessary, but I feel that it's necessary because since I'm hosting a channel, I want to put my way of viewing music out there. And this is just a foundation. I'm going to continue with more music. This was basically a little bit of talking. And well, I hope you enjoy this, even though it might be hard. But somebody might recognize themselves. And the next thing I'm going to go into is time, keeping the time. Because when you have to think, you can't be in time. You have to know the music by heart, the harmonic sequence, the song by heart. So you don't have to think about the next chord and the next chord. The hand have to know. I mean, if you play whatever tune, for instance, Stella by Starlight. You can think of, you have to be where the time is. I'm regarding this, I'm looking at this from a totally different perspective today than I ever did. Because now it's more of being in time. Not being the music, because the music comes from wherever. And just being in the tempo, just being the tempo, then the music in you can start playing with the tempo. But there is no way around the practicing with the metronome. But it's like it's no point practicing for me. And that was maybe a detour, because when I practiced, I think I wasted a lot of time. But on the other hand, I'm not sure. It's like first I learned music from one direction, until I realized, and I've heard a lot of musicians talk about this, but with different words. It's like Charlie Parker, he was like laughed at. He was self-taught, autodidact, and he went back to the practice room and just converted everything to being in time. And it's like I've heard somebody saying, first you have to know everything, then you have to forget everything, so you just can be. And for me, I practiced to a lot of records when I was younger. Then I had pretty good time, but I still was boxed in by positions on the guitar. So the last 5 years, I've been practicing in darkness when I'm in bed, basically. I always have a guitar next to my bed. So when I go to bed or wake up in the morning, I grab the guitar and I try never to look at the guitar, so that I know and that I can trust that my body knows where I am. And I'm much, much more connected to the beat and how to, like the music in me, I don't know how else to put it, can start playing with the beat, groove with the beat. If this is the tempo, advance, and we just play in F minor, and B7, B minor 7, A flat major. But this one is where I'm at. I'm in the beat. That's where I have to be. Then I can start playing around that. Prior, I used to be from the other direction, trying to be in time, which was totally upside down. And I didn't realize that because I was stuck in my head. I was stuck in trying to be, instead of just being there, relaxed. So sometimes I just listened to the metronome and started like being there, being the tempo, but playing with the tempo. moving. Sometimes I put the metronome on 39 beats or something, and I was thinking, this is the one in a 5-bar, or this is the 4 in a, or 2 in a 4/4 or something, and just explored in my mind to feel free in being connected, or being in the time, or being the time. Because I don't know I don't know if there is a difference. Actually, might sound crazy or philosophical or something, but to me, it has to do with being in the present. So meditation is a very, very helpful tool, for instance. Being curious about the present. So your heart and your focus always connects to the present, because it's like, and I've seen this. I work as a therapist, and most people believe their own idea instead of being connected to the now. So meditation, practicing with a metronome, or just what am I seeing, what am I hearing right at this moment, the car passing or whatever, the bird chirping, just being connected to that, because it's a constant flow. And if you're connected to that, time stops. It's like you just are. And then music can start entering your universe from a different, I don't know if it's from within or from without. It's more like you can play around with time and whatever note you happen to want to express, or if it's you, because if you are the time, then it feels like it's coming from outside. And sometimes I can watch my hands and be like, who's playing? Is it me playing? And it's amazing. I think it's amazing how interesting this can be. It's like you can get to know how you function as a deeper level of how a human being is functioning in perceiving the reality, whatever that is. Or if we are even separate. Because when we are in time or in sync with the present, I don't feel that I'm separate. I don't know if this makes sense, but I think it's very interesting to philosophize about existing, connecting, being, and connecting this to beat, to music, to... This is so fascinating. Well, okay, that was a long introduction. I think I'm going to cut away the first piece and just save this time piece, and then maybe I do a shorter, more proper introduction of where I'm coming from musically, and what if that's even interesting, because that's got nothing to do with the present, even though my music's filtered through that experience to this meeting with you guys. All right. I hope you have a very good day, and I hope you want to follow my channel. I'm uploading my own stuff, and sometimes when I go and see a concert, I film and put up. The last thing I put up was Kurt Rosenwinkel. Okay, he is one amazing guitarist, I think, among a lot of others. Okay, doke. Have a good day.